Hello everyone, I have not forgotten about you. It's been a few weeks since I had an opportunity to come out and make a video. So in this video I'm going to show you, by the title you can tell, my diesel heater. So this year I'm going to run a diesel heater. I tried to last year in Norway, but when I mounted it to the roof and when we were doing speeds, it blew all the diesel out the top of the diesel tank and covered the car in diesel. So I wanted to contain it in a box that I used already for the roof rack. So this is one of the strata boxes from Wix. You can get them from B&Q and loads of places. And what I've done is taken a normal Chinese diesel heater, and I'll show you on the screen which one, taken it apart and mounted it inside this box. So there is the heater body. Down there I've got it screwed onto a couple bits of wood there and there. That's to raise it up so the exhaust pipe can come out without being too close to the bottom. And then for the exhaust pipe, down there again you can see I've put some exhaust wrap around it just to help get some of the heat out the box so it doesn't get too hot in the box. That's also mounted there with an L bracket, as you can see. I also put this plate on the front so the exhaust in there is mounted solid, and then there's a metal plate because there's a bigger hole in the back there cut out for the exhaust, and that stops the side of the box getting hot. I've run the exhaust up and out, and then this is the outlet into the tent, so the exhaust comes out there so it's nowhere near the intake, and then I bolted that through there so it's nice and solid. And then for the other intakes, I've 3D printed a housing. This usually goes to a filter pod. Usually it will go into this. So what I've done is took the dimensions from there and the inside, and inside there's a piece of sponge filter, and then 3D printed a new one so the filter's in there, and then that's got an intake grill there just to stop anything big being sucked into it, and then that runs down into its original port. Now the issue I had fitting in here was the fuel tank. The original fuel tank it came with was quite boxy and square because it used to sit on top of the heater here, so I've had to buy a new one. So I bought this one on Amazon, which I'll link below, and it's a 5 litre fuel tank. It's slimmer, that's bolted to the side, it's quite solid, and that runs down there into the fuel pump, which is the original fuel pump. Down there is a fuel pump at the bottom, which then runs obviously into the heater. Pretty much everything is stock from this heater. I've just had to make the 3D printed outlets. So like this duct here is 3D printed just to get it out of the box, because this side I used a bit of pipe and I printed this outlet. So this is basically what I've printed. This was a test piece, so there's one here, and then one there, and one on the output side. The output side is printed out of PETG, so it can handle the heat, but the intake's cold, so it's just printed out of PLA. So I've printed an extender piece there, which goes from the heater outside to here. Let's get some light on it. So this is the outside. There is a cap that I've made, which you twist and pull off. That's then got an intake grill, because inside there it's hard to see, but the original heater had this pattern on the intake, so I replicated that on there, and then that's a cap, so when we are transporting, the cap goes on, and it's got some little tabs there which line up with the little nubs there. That pushes on. It's nice and tight because I don't want them coming off, and then it spins on, and that will stop any air rushing in, because I think that was the issue. The air was rushing in the intake and then pushing the fuel out the fuel line. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And then I've also mounted the controller there, so it's tucked under out of the way. But for this one I also do have a remote, so we can have that inside the tent. And the other side here, we've got an outlet piece, which again is a cap that leads inside to the heater. These are printed out of PETG. They're a bit more flexible and they can handle the heat. And then what you do is connect your duct in. It just slips over that and then it locks on using these little nubs. And then I've printed this triangular piece, which will go in the zip of the tent, and that'll be our inlet. So I will show you a video of it running, because it runs off the battery system in the car. But that is how I've mounted my diesel heater inside one of these boxes. So it's just a quick video. I am still working on the drawers. They are pretty much done. I'm working on a video for that now, but I just thought I'd do a video showing my heater, just so you got something to watch and know I'm still around. So that's my diesel heater, and I'll show you a clip now of it running. Thank you for watching, guys. And there's the diesel heater running fully. Nice warm air off the car plug there, which runs up into the electrical system. You can put the lid on tonight, and the lid is sealed with a rubber seal all the way around, and it doesn't get too hot in here.